Of all the auto brands on the road today, only one has been named the best auto brand for 6 straight years. That brand is Mazda. Come shop and save on the award-winning lineup of new Mazdas right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Welcome to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours in our post-world ending, didn't really happen weather event and COVID-19 since the last time we had the opportunity to spend a little time with you. Eat your hearts out. Oh, look at this. Look at this. You got to give me the shot. Talk about breakfast of champions. Oh, my God. We are going to be letting you guys and girls know about a fabulous new eatery that will be opening soon here in Baton Rouge. It is Bayou Smokehouse featuring old school barbecue. Can you imagine a fresh baked biscuit? I'm going to have to see if I can talk Mama B and the crew into opening for breakfast. I mean, can you imagine that brisket with that smoke ring with the crust on it, on a fresh baked biscuit in the morning? Oh my God, I see the wheels turning in Mama B's head right now. They are in the process of getting the staffing up to the point where they can open and serve this fabulous product to Baton Rougeans and surrounding areas.
Yeah, she said keep track of them on Facebook. That's what I want to make that announcement.
Okay, keep track of Bayou Smokehouse on Facebook. And, of course, keep tuned in to the Clarence Bug Show and the Exiles, and we will let you guys and girls know the exact date and time to open up, and you will be able to truly take part in eating some real old-school barbecue. You don't have to worry about any of that cooked in the oven, rubbed down with liquid smoke, fake barbecue stuff, okay? We're talking pecan wood smoked. The beast is fired up and ready to do its thing. So stay tuned, stay abreast. Bayou Smokehouse on Facebook and, of course, on the Clarence Bug Show, the Exiles, and Pelican TV. You know, we in this country have struggled in recent memory to come to terms with the issue of race in this country. And yesterday was as glaring an example of why we continue to struggle with this issue, as you will find in recent memory. Horrific shooting incident in the state of Georgia, leading to the horrific deaths of 8 individuals. And of course, as the case will be so many times in America, anytime the victim and the perpetrator are of a different race, there are folks out there that rush to politicize, take advantage, and further the agenda of separating the races. The second I saw this story break, when I saw the number of victims that were Asian American and found out that the perpetrator here was alleged to be white, it literally was a matter of counting down the seconds before those that continued to push racial disparity in this country weaponized this issue. Didn't take long. Politicians, sports figures, the media, before anyone knew what the motive was behind all of this, oh, it's racism. Oh, it's white supremacy. Oh, it's systemic racist America. And the lines just went on and on and on. Let's start with the politicians. Quote, 8 lives were violently stolen. We stand in solidarity and deep compassion with our Asian American and Pacific Islander family in Georgia and across the country. Racism, misogyny, and white supremacy are a threat to all of our communities, and we must call out the targeted violent attacks on our neighbors. Ayanna Pressley, Democrat, Massachusetts, and a member of the Squad. Surprise, surprise. But it didn't stop there. Cori Bush, Democrat, also, quote, to our Asian neighbors, family, and friends, I know that the world seems more scary today, more cruel. Know that we love you. We mourn those killed last night in Atlanta with you. We will dismantle white supremacy alongside you. Jamal Bowman, Democrat, New York, quote, too many police in our country are more concerned with protecting white supremacy than serving the communities that pay their salaries. And of course, the list went on and on and on. Not to be outdone, sports figures jumped in on the white supremacy angle as well. Former Miami Heat player Dwayne Wade taking to Twitter quickly, denouncing the murders as an example of racism, pushing the hashtag Stop Asian Hate. And of course, not to be outdone by any of this, the media jumped in full bore, making sure that they got the opportunity to play the white supremacy / racism angle as well. One of the most disgusting examples that I think I saw yesterday is attributed to MSNBC, LOL. Imagine that, right? Contributor to MSLSD, Mike Barnicle, blaming former President Donald Trump for the Atlanta area massage parlor killings. Quote, get this, I'm not a big fan of living in the past. Of course, that's where he starts. I believe in moving forward, although he's moving backwards, keeping the line going forward into the future. But we opened this segment with the clip of the former president speaking. We've been talking about things that have been existent in America for quite some time, but enhanced over the last 4 years with the presidential seal of approval. given to intolerance, given to fear, given to suspicion, given to anger, given to saying very little about racial strife in this country and the causes of it, never addressing it, of lying about nearly everything you can imagine, from the dangers of the virus to racial animosity and what it's doing in our country. Then he goes on, does Mr. Barnacle, to say, quote, now, Donald Trump didn't pull the trigger in Atlanta, but Donald Trump certainly was responsible for the anger and the fear and the suspicion that exists in a great degree in our country. Well, come to find out, dude was just a deviant, an admitted sex addict, by the way, last registered as a Democrat, but saw in his demented mind the way to remove his addiction and the lure to it was by killing folks in massage parlors. Had absolutely nothing on the planet, nothing to do with white supremacy or racism. Now, in an ideal world, the politicians that made these statements, the sports figures that made the statements, the members of the media that all tried to gin up non-existent racial hate, in an ideal world, they would all apologize and say, you know what, we were wrong. We shouldn't have said this. We impugned people. We only served to divide the races in this country even further. We shouldn't have done that. Of course, now, to do that, you have to truly be concerned about racism to start. To do that, to be ashamed of what you did, you have to actually have shame. Of course, I guess I'm asking if I want fries with that too, if I expect the media, the politicians, and the sports figures to admit when they're wrong and pushing an agenda. Hopefully, you'll see it for yourself, and whether they apologize or not won't really matter. First break of today's show. We get her done. We'll talk more next on the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Team Honda wants to thank you for once again making us Louisiana's #1 new car dealer by offering you never-before-seen savings. For the first time ever, get 0% financing up to 60 months on some of your favorite Honda models. Get thousands in savings right now at Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent.
Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances. Your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Mandafine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Mandafine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Mandafine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Y'all ought to see Marty in his stuffing his face with that brisket. You know, he gives me the countdown 3, 2, 1 on the comeback. Just now it was like, who, one, mouth full of brisket. Ain't got time to be messing around with you, man. I got a pan full of brisket over here. Bayou Smokehouse going to be opening up in the very near future. Be sure, again, if you missed the opening segment, to check them out on Facebook. And who knows, when they open in the very near future, you'll come by for lunch. We can spend a little time talking politics, social events, coronavirus, the whole nine, because will be on location here at Bayou Smokehouse. A little something extra for you to file away to put in the memory banks for later on. You know, I awakened like so many of you this morning, and the first thing I wanted to do was see the aftermath of yesterday's forecasted severe weather event. There was a couple of stories that I noticed where parents were complaining about the canceling of school, the scheduling, et cetera, et cetera. And I found myself asking this morning, after noticing the numbers starting to come down, those experiencing power outages. The last number I think I saw was a little in the neighborhood of around 3,000 or so. But I had to ask myself, did we overreact to yesterday's anticipated weather event? I, as so many people do, started thinking back, particularly about the school issue. How many times we, as young people, went to school, dealt with whatever the weather threw our way, and we just adapted and kept on. Now, obviously, the first thing that came to mind was the fact that, well, Clarence, when you were in school, we didn't have Doppler radar, we didn't have all these forecasting tools, we didn't have the ability to see inside supercells, identify them, so on and so forth. So obviously it was, quote, a different day back then. But all that being said, while technology is a wonderful thing, I just have to wonder if it's made us soft. Now, let me say for the record, no one wants on their watch to have kids in school and there's this horrific, powerful, tornadic activity that just breaks out and wreaks havoc on society. None of us want to be that guy or that girl that has it happen on our watch. But at the end of the day, it is something that we have to deal with. It is something that we cannot control. And it is something that is going to happen again. And while I am one that's all for using technology to keep us safe, I just wonder at times how soft technology is making us. We literally, when it comes to weather, albeit by days, we can pretty much see into the future. And that being said, with Americans nowadays being scared to death about this, that, the other, and of course having institutions now whose sole purpose in life is to keep us afraid of this, that, and the other, I just wonder if we're doing ourselves somewhat of a disservice by relying so much on something and taking extraordinary measures only to assuage our fear, if that's not holding us back from being the Americans that we should be at this point. Just saying. Yesterday, speaking of, in Seattle, actually in Oregon State University's Board of Trustees, went through what we all thought would be the next step in the whole LSU Title IX sex abuse scandal. Former LSU President F. King Alexander raked over the coals at Oregon State. A 7-hour meeting for the Board of Trustees there culminated with F. King Alexander being placed on probation for what amounts to a couple of months. It will include, this time frame extending through June 1st, an evaluation of Alexander and the hiring of an outside firm to conduct an investigation. Alexander will also be expected to provide a concrete report on how he plans to rebuild trust at Oregon State University. Quote, "The fallout from LSU's Title IX scandal has reached Corvallis, Oregon, where OSU President F. King Alexander took tough questions from the university's Board of Trustees about his handling of sexual misconduct complaints while president at LSU. 2 board members voted against the motion." This is no big surprise, I don't think, to anyone. What is a tad surprising to me is that the probationary period is only for about 2 months. With the hue and outcry, I thought it probably would have been a longer period of time, maybe because of the mere fact that it is a referenced scandal, meaning it occurred at another place outside of Corvallis, outside the halls of Oregon State University. Had it happened there, it probably would have been an entirely different scenario altogether. If this ends up being the only quote-unquote repercussion that F. King Alexander ends up facing because of the scandal, then he is probably counting his blessings this morning as one of the luckiest people on the planet. It is a time in our country's evolution, for lack of a better word, that these things are no longer tolerated. And fortunately for F. King Alexander, it happened on his watch, unfortunately, but fortunately he has since left Louisiana State University. So as folks all across the country, and for that matter, all across the sports world keep an eye on it, we will do so as well. And we'll see where all of this ends up for F. King, OSU, Les Miles, and all the others involved. Speaking of Louisiana State University, a little bit of normalcy, a little more normalcy returning to our state's flagship university, as LSU issuing a release yesterday stating that the school expects to hold in-person commencement exercises this spring. In the notice, Interim President Tom Galligan said that LSU's May graduates, March graduates of the LSU online program, and graduates of the LSU period throughout 2020 will have the opportunity to walk across the stage as their names are called in the ceremony. If you are, by the way, a degreed candidate and a grad, you must confirm that you plan to attend the April 9th ceremony. Confirm to attend by April 9th, because obviously there are going to be some certain regulations put in place. According to Interim President Galligan, each senior college will hold a diploma ceremony for their respective graduates and will follow all state and university guidelines regarding maximum capacity restrictions, physical distancing, and, of course, the ever-present wearing of masks. The update says the ceremonies for 2021 grads will be held Friday, May 7th, and Saturday, May 8th. The vet school will hold a ceremony for candidates on Monday, May 10th. The Law Center will hold its ceremony for Juris Doctorate and LLM candidates on Saturday, May 15th, and added that more information on those ceremonies will be forthcoming. It is a monumental time in the lives of these people. I was tempted to say young people, but they're not all young people. And at the end of that journey, it is expected and appropriate that you are allowed to celebrate along with family and friends and fellow grads, as well as those who taught, tutored, nurtured you throughout the process to reach that point. So it's good to see that all involved will, in fact, be able to take part. Not going to be like, it normally is a wild and loose kind of affair. There will be social distancing. There will be caps on attendance. You'll have to wear your masks, the whole nine. But considering all that these individuals have gone through to get to this point, I don't think a whole lot of them are going to be complaining because they have to adhere to social distancing norms and wearing a mask to be able to celebrate your accomplishment. I won't be in that number. I don't profess to speak for them, just a gut feeling. Just saying. Bottom of the hour break. Let me get this one done. You had to know this was coming. With the amount of money that the federal government is printing up, passing out, slinging around willy-nilly, you did give some thought to how we're going to pay for all this, right? If not, well, Joe Biden's got a plan. Grab your tax returns, clutch them tightly, because the tax man is coming for your money. Just saying. Of course, now, it is a Democrat administration. Trump giveth, Biden taketh away. It's the way it works. Bottom of the hour break, that's next on the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Jaguar Nation, we need your help in masking up Louisiana.
Masks help us slow the spread of COVID-19.
During this time, we must continue to wear a mask. Wash your hands and practice social distancing.
It's important that we continue to abide by the CDC's guidelines to stop the spread.
Jaguar Nation, we challenge you to mask up.
Go Jags!
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. If you were with us earlier and you didn't know what was going on, you may have noticed that, and Marty has snatched it. Way to go, Marty. We had a pan of some of the best-looking brisket up here that you have seen in quite some time. Courtesy of the good folks at Bayou Smokehouse, who will be opening real soon here at their location, 10655 Coursey Boulevard in Baton Rouge. It truly is old school barbecue. And you know that the brisket was appealing. And we all know as Louisianians that food in Louisiana has to be as pleasing to the eye as it is to the palate. That's why, since I showed that pan, three people have already called and said, are they open yet? When they going to open? Check them out on Facebook. And, of course, just stay tuned to the Clarence Bug Show, the Exiles Pelican TV, and we'll give you an exact date when you can come by and get some serious old-school barbecue. You know, you had to know this was coming. And stimulus packages aside, you were given the heads up last year that if America chose to elect another Democrat to put in the White House, your taxes were going to go up. I mean, it is as old a saying as the day is long. You know, Republicans are for smaller government. Republicans want you to keep your own money, theorizing that you know better what to do with your money than the freaking government knows what to do with your money. We all know this. This is no earth-shaking revelation here. There's no epiphany involved. You already know. Democrats raise your taxes. Republicans want to cut your taxes. That's just the nature of the beast. Well, it appears now that Joe Biden is considering a tax hike to underwrite this $1.9 trillion stimulus package. And by the time they come up with the new infrastructure package, which is probably going to be another couple $1 trillion, you do realize this money's not free, right? How many times have I told you guys and girls, the federal government has no money. The only money they have is your money. When you work, Uncle Sam sticks his grubby little fingers in your pocket and every check you get, and they suck money out of it to give to other projects, people's pet projects, and the like. The federal government does not manufacture, build, produce a single product that they can put on the shelf, sell, and make a profit. They don't have any money. The only money they have, the 1.9 trillion, the 2.1 trillion, that's your money. They don't have any money of their own. So when you get all giddy watching them come up with this stimulus package, that stimulus package, handing out money here, handing out money there, you better realize at some point those chickens got to come back home to roost. Somebody's got to pay for it. You think it's going to be the politicians? Wrong answer. You think it's going to be the social justice warriors? Wrong answer. You think it's going to be maybe the environmentalists? Wrong again. Ordinary, hardworking, everyday Americans. That's who gets the pleasure and the privilege of picking up the tab for willy-nilly spending by these idiots up in Washington, D.C. And just think, we're just getting started with the new administration. So just imagine you've got 3+ years of more. Let's see how much more money we can take from these suckers in America. Just getting started, y'all. Of course, now, you can't blame us. Tried to tell you over and over and over again. Tried to tell you, but no. Well, when your pocket, wallet, purse, what have you, starts getting lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter, maybe then you'll take it to heart for the next time. Of course, it's not going to do a whole lot of good for your wallet this time, but such is the nature of the beast. This tax hike that's coming down the pike, first major one from the feds in almost 30 years, if it passes. So I guess in hindsight, you could say, well, I did get to hang on to my money for a little while, at least till the Democrats got back in charge of everything. Well, that's on you. Oh, and by the way, you did hear, Marty, if you would at some point, can you back time that for me, just so I have a ballpark idea? Now we find out that some states, you want to guess which ones? Some states, we won't mention them, blue states, are considering taxing your stimulus checks. So let me be sure I got this right. All the years I've been working, all the years you've been sticking your grubby little fingers in my check, taking my money through taxes. When the pandemic hits and I need what you've been taking from me through taxes, you break me off a little piece, and now you want to tax the taxes that you took. I don't know what's worse, that they would even entertain the idea, or the fact that they felt they could entertain the idea because you dummies don't know any better and probably won't say a damn thing about it. Which is worse? We are now considering taxing your tax dollars. I mean, after all, we've got this massive bureaucracy. We have to pay people for taking your money and giving it back to you, right? I mean, it was your money. We took it. We gave it back to you. But we got to pay people to do all of this kind of stuff. And you still wonder why those of us who are conservatives, those of us who adhere to smaller government, why we have been sounding the alarm for so long? You still wonder why conservatives are of the opinion that liberals / Democrats / progressives don't really care about you and your money. They just want it for themselves. We're going to take it in the form of a tax. Don't worry, we got it if you ever need it, pandemic. We'll give you a little bit of it back while we send a bunch of it overseas. And now the states are considering, hey, they got all these checks. We might need to tax this. At some point, you keep wondering, hoping, desperately, that regardless of political affiliation, Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever, you keep hoping that regardless of sexual orientation, skin color, whatever, you keep hoping that Americans will say, now wait a minute, wait a minute, D.C., enough's enough. Y'all have lost your freaking minds. You keep hoping. It says something that we've not yet reached that point, but it also says something that until we do, the folks we elect to serve us will continue to be of the opinion that they were appointed to rule, not elected to serve, appointed to rule. And whatever idiocracy comes down the pike, Americans will swallow it. I mean, after all, stupid as they are, they'll believe anything we tell them. And you know what? With every passing day, it's getting harder and harder and harder to argue with them. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Mandafine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Mandafine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Mandafine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
We're making 2021 the year of savings, and it starts right now at Team Toyota. Come get a new 21 Corolla for just $189 a month, or get a 20 Camry for just $19,995. It's a year full of savings starting right now, right here at Team Toyota.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, as a longtime member of the media, it pains me greatly to watch what is happening in our country, particularly as it pertains to media. Good or bad, right or wrong, fair or unfair, Americans throughout our history have depended greatly upon the media for information that we can glean, analyze, what's the word I'm looking for? Deconstruct as a means of forming our own opinions on things that matter to us. And throughout the history of this country, all most of us Americans have ever required of the media is that you be fair, present all sides of an argument in an unbiased fashion without your personal opinion injected into the story, and allow me the opportunity to come to my own conclusion about whatever it is. I don't think there's a single person watching right now, or maybe in America for that matter, that is of the opinion the media has not forsaken that duty 110%. We have allowed in this country the media to become so partisan. And listen, I get it. I understand human nature. I know full well that as a species, mankind tends to congregate more with and relate more to individuals that look like they do. I get it. Far be it from me to cast a dispersion one way or the other as to what that says about us as people. I just know that as a member of the human race, I know the validity behind that rationale. We also, as human beings, have the tendency to gravitate toward individuals that think like we do, which is hence, in many cases, why you have red states, blue states, purple states, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, if you hope to make an informed decision, you have to have, at minimum, two things. One, both sides of the argument. Two, have it presented to you in a fair, impartial, and unbiased manner. It is not at all unexpected, but still funny to watch the Cuomo sexual scandal unveiled. Not so very long ago, at the beginning of, and particularly during the height of the hashtag #MeToo movement, liberals, progressives, Democrats, oh Lord Jesus, they were on the warpath. We got to believe these women. There's no reason why a woman would lie. We need to investigate this stuff fully. Ironically, the last really big one that we saw was the Justice Kavanaugh confirmation hearings. Remember that? Where the Democrats went back some 30 years, 20 plus, going on 30 years, drug out a woman who alleged an assault, although she couldn't remember any of the pertinent details. And they drug that dead horse, the issue, not the woman, drug that issue out in front of the public, and they beat that sucker ad nauseum. Day in, day out. All we heard was Kavanaugh, 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 sexual assault, sexual assault, sexual assault, hashtag Me Too, we got to believe the women. Well, enter 2021, where a sitting governor, last I heard, was up to 7 women accusing him, some of whom allege while in office currently. And what have we heard about this? Now, can you imagine, just imagine for a second, that Governor Cuomo, just imagine if he were a Republican. There would have been marches, there would have been boycotts, there would have been sit-ins, you name it. They probably would have come up with some new stuff to protest with by now. And yet, if ever you wondered, do they really play favorites? If ever you had to wonder, is there a double standard? If ever you had to wonder, are they politicizing this, weaponizing this? Would they ever do that in front of the American public? Well, now you know. Another classic example. Finally, after 3 weeks now, the White House press corps is starting to question the Biden administration about what's going on at our southern border. Recent press conference with spokeswoman Jen Psaki, reporter, quote, "It's now been 3 weeks since I think in this room you were first asked about getting us some press access to the border. Why have we still not seen any images inside the detention facilities?" Legitimate question. Of course, now in defending that, she also did, Ms. Psaki, defend the president for failing to, so far, visit the border himself. Quote, "He talks to plenty of officials. He's received briefings with photos and details about the facilities." Now again, imagine if you would, and you've already seen it, it's rhetorical, you've already seen it. Imagine if Donald Trump were still in office and this was going on at the border and he didn't set foot on soil at the border. And imagine, if you will, if he told the media, well, every day I get a briefing and I look at the pictures. Imagine what the media and some of y'all would have said about that. You already know the answer. He don't care about children. It'd be fine with him if they died in them cages down there. And maybe, just maybe, the reason the Biden administration won't show you pictures or allow the press to go inside, because now he's seen the pictures, but the free and open press and the American people don't get to see the pictures. Maybe they don't want you to see them because they know at some point when you see the kids in the cages, maybe the point's going to come up, well, you know, these are the cages that you and Barack Obama built during your last presidency. And we blasted Trump for putting children in cages. When you going to get rid of these, Joe? Now you got to come up with an answer, not only for why you built them to begin with, but why you're still using them today after blasting Trump over and over and over about not caring about the babies, not caring about the children. If ever you wondered, is there a double standard? Now, put your political leanings aside for a second. Don't think about yourself as a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, whatever. Just look at yourself as an American. Does it not bother you that you cannot make an intelligent, informed decision about this because the media and the administration are going out of their way not to inform you? It may feel good because, oh man, we got to stick it to Trump. But what happens when the roles are reversed and they want to stick it to you? See, America is supposed to be about more than Democrat and Republican. There is a distinct reason why the Founding Fathers, in their infinite wisdom, always referred to we, the people. There's a reason that phrase was coined, and it's a reason why you see it recurring so often in their writings and their vision for this country. It's not we the Democrats, it's not we the Republicans, it's we the people. Some of y'all ain't gonna get that till later, but that's okay. Hopefully at some point you get it. Time's up and I gotta go. But this day, like any other, I give it to you. America, not perfect. But for this old boy's money, still the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Then again, really doesn't matter because there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Don't forget, stay abreast. Bayou Smokehouse on Facebook, opening soon. Take care of yourselves and each other. Love you much. God bless.